Hello, hockey fans. Austin here, and welcome to the Eastern Conference playoff prediction video. Now, as you can tell by the background, if you're new to the channel, I'm an Oilers fan. I started making Oilers-related content back in November of this season. This is my first year creating content in general on YouTube, and I'm excited to branch out and do playoff predictions. I do playoff predictions every year. I've got the bracket challenge going on. You can join my bracket challenge league. I will be giving out prizes to the top performers of the bracket challenge, so make sure you check the description down below. I'll leave a link for the Austin Hockey League down there. And of course, all hockey fans are welcome to join, not just Oilers fans. And in terms of, the playoff predictions here in the Eastern Conference, there's some really intriguing matchups. We have the Rangers against the Capitals. We have the Hurricanes against the Islanders. We have the Leafs against the Bruins again for the fourth time since 2013. And we have the Florida Panthers against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, there are a couple of these matchups. They could be absolute bloodbaths. There are teams looking to slay the dragon, like the Leafs against the Bruins. I'm very excited to kind of break down each series in this video and make my predictions. Of course, I want to hear from you as well, so make sure that you leave your predictions down in the comment section below. If you are new to the channel, I hope you enjoy your stay. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe. Tons of content coming to you guys for the playoffs. I'm excited. Let's jump into the first series, the Rangers versus the Capitals. Now, head-to-head, each team this season, they were 2-2 against each other. Rangers won both of their home games. Capitals won both of their home games. They each scored 9 goals for, 9 goals against. So on paper, in terms of the head-to-head, pretty even. However, when we look at some of the more advanced metrics, on Washington's side, their expected goals for was only ranked 25th in the entire league. Power play was 17th. Penalty kill was ranked 19th. They scored 2.63 goals per game, which ranked 28th. They gave up 3.07 goals per game, which ranked 16th. And they had 26.5 shots on goal per game, which ranked 30th. Over on the Rangers side, their expected goals for percentage at even strength was 50.12%, which ranks 18th. Power play was ranked 3rd at 26.4%. Penalty kill was ranked 3rd at 84.5%. They scored 3.39 goals per game, which ranks 7th. Their goals against per game this season, 2.76, also 7th, and they averaged 31.5 shots on goal per game, which ranked 12th. So when we look at these two teams, the Rangers, they're the President's Trophy winners. Will the President's Trophy curse continue, just like it did with the Bruins last season when their historic season, and the Florida Panthers ended up upsetting them in 7? I don't foresee this matchup turning out to be like that matchup between the Bruins and Panthers. The Panthers had really good underlying metrics. They had good numbers overall. The Bruins, their PDO was already kind of starting to come down, and of course the rest is history. 7-game series, anything can happen. But in terms of the Rangers and Capitals series, Washington with a what is it, a negative 37 goal differential heading into the playoffs. I don't see the Washington Capitals coming out of this first round against the Rangers, and that's no disrespect to Capitals or Capitals fans. You are a massive underdog. You're probably the biggest underdog in the entire postseason. But in terms of my prediction, I'm going to go Rangers in 5. I just think the Rangers, their depth, top to bottom of their lineup, their defense, their goaltending, pretty much everything on the Rangers side is, in my opinion, better than what the Washington Capitals offer. But Washington, they play low event hockey. When they win, they don't win by a lot. When they lose big. So it's going to be interesting. I think with the head-to-head, very interesting numbers. Obviously, that's just basic numbers. I didn't put any of the advanced metrics because I think a 4-game sample size is too small to really look at the expected goals for and all that jazz. So I wanted to just look at how each team performed throughout the entire regular season. But I am going with the Rangers. Who are you predicting in this series? Let me know in the comment section below. And let's move on to our next series, the Leafs versus the Bruins. Looking at the Bruins and Maple Leafs head-to-head this season, Boston dominated the Leafs. They won all 4 matchups. The Leafs went 0-2-2. Of course, 1 loss in overtime, 1 loss in a shootout for Toronto. Those are games that could have went either way. I think the games were more even than the head-to-head shows. And when we look at the other metrics here, the Toronto Maple Leafs, they're 9th in expected goals for percentage at even strength, 7th on the power play, 23rd on the penalty kill, 2nd at generating goals per game, but they're 21st at goals against per game, and they have the 7th most shots on goal per game. Now, when we look at the Leafs side here, they score a lot, but they give up a lot. And the Bruins, looking over on their end, they don't score as much as the Leafs, but they are very good at goal suppression with their goaltending and defensive structure. The Bruins are also 17th in expected goals for percentage at even strength, so they're not generating a whole lot more high danger looks than their opponents, but they're also not giving up a whole lot either. They will play low event hockey if they need to. They will try and beat you down physically if they have to. I know the Leafs, just some of the players that they picked up at the deadline, the Leafs are a lot tougher and they do push back and they can bully you, but the Bruins will not be bullied. And this is going to be such an interesting series. The Bruins power play has struggled for the last half of the season, but their penalty kill is very strong. They score 3.21 goals per game, which is 14th. They give up 2.7 goals per game, which is 6th. And they only generate about 29.3 shots on goal per game, which ranks 22nd. Again, the Bruins, they're not as high flying and offensive as they were over the last couple of seasons, but they are a team that plays disciplined, structured hockey. The Leafs, if they have to kill penalties, I like the Bruins' chances on their power play, despite how much it struggled in the second half of the season. This head-to-head matchup, this is a coin flip, honestly. And of course, we all know this series is going to go 7 games, just like in 2013, 2018, and 2019. And until the Leafs can prove that they can get past the Bruins, I am going to predict the Bruins in 7. If this ends up, coming to fruition, if the Bruins beat the Leafs for the 4th straight playoff series since 2013 in the first round, I have no idea what to say. It'll be very, very interesting to see how this series plays out. As I mentioned, the head-to-head, I think it was closer than what the numbers are showing. I do like the Leafs in terms of their offense, and if the Bruins defense and goaltending starts to sputter a little bit, and if they can't get their power play going, the Leafs are going to take advantage and they are going to win the series. But for now, I'm going Bruins in 7. What do you guys think about that? Let me know your score or your series prediction, and let's move on to the Hurricanes and Islanders. All right, looking ahead to the Carolina Hurricanes and New York Islanders, the season series between these two teams. Both of them went 2-1-1 against each other. Carolina held the edge in goals for, goals against. They had 16 goals for, 14 goals against. Again, these head-to-head series are very close, but they're not quite indicative of the extra metrics. If you look over on the right-hand side of the screen, the Carolina Hurricanes are second in expected goals for, second in power play percentage, first place in the league in their penalty kill. They are 8th in scoring. They are 4th in goals against per game and 3rd in shots for per game. The Carolina Hurricanes are an absolute wagon. They dominate possession, 5-on-5, even strength. Their power play is terrific. Their penalty kill is the best in the league. They were struggling with finishing or putting the puck in the net earlier in the year. That's why they went out and got Jake Gensel from the Pittsburgh Penguins at the trade deadline. And when Jake Gensel is out there for Carolina, he has actually made a massive difference. That team is on an absolute roll right now. And looking over on the Islanders side, they don't really do a whole lot of, they're not top 10 in any category. They don't, they're I don't want to sound disrespectful to the Islanders, but this is a team that the Carolina Hurricanes should beat 9 times out of 10. This is a series that should go the Carolina Hurricanes' way 9 times out of 10. However, the playoffs are a whole different animal. The Islanders have some players that have some experience that, they can make your life miserable, and a Patrick Waugh coached hockey team will make your life miserable. So looking at the Islanders, they're 24th in expected goals for the season, 19th in power play. They are dead last in penalty kill. So if Carolina is able to get some power plays, I like their chances to generate offense. The Islanders, they're 22nd in goals for at 2.99 per game. They're 18th in goals against per game. They're 19th in shots for per game. This is a series that, again, on paper, it should go the Islanders' way, and that's why I am predicting should go the Islanders' way, the Hurricanes' way. The Carolina Hurricanes should win. I'm going to predict them in 5. I would not be surprised if this was a sweep. However, it is tough to sweep teams in today's NHL. You don't see it a whole lot. Don't be surprised if Carolina ends up being the team that comes out of the Eastern Conference into the Stanley Cup Finals as well. They are one of my top team to watch throughout the playoffs. So if you're a Hurricanes fan, I hope you're excited. If you're an Islanders fan, you're quite the underdog, and I'm rooting for, I love underdogs, so we'll see what happens. But in this situation, the Hurricanes should come out on top, unless there is an absolutely major upset here. Hurricanes should walk over the Islanders in 5. Now let's go to the final playoff matchup in the Eastern Conference that I want to talk about. That is the Tampa Bay Lightning against the Florida Panthers. This is going to be an absolute bloodbath, and I can't wait. Looking at the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning, I think this series is going to be the most violent series out of the Eastern Conference first-round matchups. The Bruins and Leafs could get a little chippy too, but I have a feeling the Battle of Florida is going to be nasty. This is going to be one of the most exciting series to watch. And looking at the head-to-head this season, Florida was 2-1. They scored 15 goals for, gave up 9 goals against. Tampa Bay was 1-2 against Florida this year. Tampa Bay also lost 9-2 against Florida. Let's see, that was back on February 17th. And in their most recent matchup, Florida outshot Tampa Bay 50-16, although Tampa did pull out the 5-3 win. But, you know, looking at this matchup, I like the Florida Panthers a lot, but the Tampa Bay Lightning, they are a special teams juggernaut. They are first on the power play. They are fifth on the penalty kill. They are fifth in goals for per game. However, their goals against per game is 22nd, and their shots generated per game is 21st at 29.3 shots per game. The Tampa Bay Lightning kind of remind me of the Toronto Maple Leafs a little bit. They are a very good team at generating offense. However, when it comes to defending, the defense and preventing goals, they're not as good. However, if Vasilevsky gets hot, the Tampa Bay Lightning have as good a chance as anyone to get out of this first round. The one thing that I am giving the edge in favor of Florida, though, and that I think will be the difference maker in this series, is the expected goals for percentage at 5-on-5 and the even strength play in general. Most games of hockey are played at even strength or 5-on-5. I'm an analytics guy, and Tampa has the edge in the special teams. Although Florida, they're no slouch in their special teams department either. They are 8th in power play. They are 6th in penalty kill. But they are the best goal suppression team in the league. They only give up 2.41 goals per game. Sergei Bobrovsky has had a terrific season. Florida generates a ton of high danger chances. And it's that reason why I am going Florida Panthers in 6. The Tampa Bay Lightning are not the team that they were during their cup runs. Not to disrespect them or discredit them in any way, but I do like the Florida Panthers' chances against Tampa Bay. I do think the Florida Panthers are going to come out on top in the series and move on to the second round. It's going to be a close series. It's going to be closer than, some of these numbers might show. If it ends up being a special teams battle, both teams are very good on the special teams. But if this series comes down to 5-on-5 play, the Florida Panthers, in my opinion, they are better than Tampa Bay. And I do think that they will be able to push through. But that is pretty much it for my Eastern Conference playoff predictions. What did you think about all of them? As always, make sure you let me know all of your predictions down in the comment section below. I will have a Western Conference playoff preview show coming up tomorrow once I know the final matchups. And as of the recording of this video, there's still a couple matchups that are not set in stone, with Vegas and LA still needing to figure out their seeding. So once that is all set, I will have a Western Conference preview. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, share with all your friends and family, and tell somebody that you love them. I'm excited for the playoffs to start. Let's get this thing rolling, and we'll see you soon. Take care.